Can you serve God and still pursue wealth? Jesus said, "You cannot serve both God and money." Does that mean a believer is supposed to be poor? That chasing success and wealth is a sin? Today, I am going to answer that question directly, honestly, and with examples straight from the Bible. And I am pretty sure most of you have never looked at it this way before. When you try to earn more money, what are you actually doing? You are developing yourself. You are sharpening your skills. You are learning to serve people better. The more people you serve, and the higher the level at which you serve them, the more you earn. That's not a contradiction. That's a principle. If your goal is money for money's sake, you'll either never reach it or you'll hit a ceiling. You might get there, but through burnout and a complete loss of meaning. But if you are focused on 3 specific things, everything changes. First, understand what God created you for. Find your mission. Second, develop yourself professionally and personally so you can fulfill that mission at the highest level possible. Third, wake up every single day and dedicate yourself to living out that purpose. That's how you create real value. And money is the byproduct of value. But there is one crucial detail most people miss completely. Today's world, one skill is often not enough to turn value into money. Value and money are connected through a stack of skills. Picture a therapist. Enormous knowledge. How to treat patients, what to prescribe, how to recover from illness. He works at a local clinic for $5,000 a month. His value is immense. His income is not. Example, Dr. Berg, now take another doctor. Dr. Berg. At the core, he gives the same advice any general practitioner gives patients during a checkup. But he did 3 things differently. 1. He moved his expertise online. Point 2. He developed the skill of communicating on camera. Point 3. He learned how to promote himself on the internet. The result? 11 million subscribers on his main channel, 6 million on his translated channel. And instead of $5,000 a month, at minimum $2 million a year. Same value, same knowledge. But a stacked set of skills created a multiplier effect, 10 times 100 times 1,000. So, here is the real question. Is Dr. Berg serving money while that clinic therapist is serving God? Of course not. These 2 things are completely unrelated. Your income level does not determine your level of devotion to God. 2 of my favorite figures in the Bible, David and Solomon, both incredibly wealthy, both blessed by God. About David, God himself said, "A man after my own heart." And yet David was one of the wealthiest men of his era. Where is the contradiction? There isn't one. Solomon, the first content creator in history. When God came to Solomon and said, "Ask for whatever you want," what did he ask for? Not money, not land, not a vast harem. Solomon asked for wisdom. Why? So he could carry out his mission, to govern his people in the way God intended. And God answered, "Because you did not ask for riches, or long life, or victory over your enemies, I will give you all of those things on top of it." Solomon received wisdom, and as a result, extraordinary wealth. Under his reign, Israel became a kingdom unlike any before it in history. Legends about him spread across the entire world. Kings, merchants, and nobles came to him from every corner of the earth, first just to see whether it was all true, and when they saw it, they paid annually to remain in his presence and absorb his wisdom. Solomon created content. The content spread across the world. Success attracted an audience, and the audience paid for access to his knowledge. The first content creator and the first knowledge entrepreneur in the history of humanity. But when did the problem come? When he had a lot of money? It came when he lost focus on his mission, when he began worshiping the gods of his wives, when he drifted from the task he was placed on earth to carry out. That's when he began to lose everything. David, the fall in the moment of idleness. Same story with David. When did he fall? Not in hard times, not in poverty. It happened at the very moment his army was out fighting the enemy, and he was strolling along the balcony of his palace. Instead of being with his men on the battlefield as a king should be, he decided he had already achieved everything. He relaxed. He lost focus. That's when he saw Bathsheba. That's when the entire cascade of his downfall began, bringing him enormous grief and consequences for years to come. The cause was not money, it was not success. The cause was idleness and the loss of mission. Conclusion: Money and serving God are not connected. The problem doesn't come when you have a lot of money. The problem comes when you lose your mission. When you start living for money, for external success, for fleeting pleasures, that's when real problems begin. The devil lives in idleness. Want to defeat him? Stay busy. Stay busy with exactly what you were created to do. Your income level is your choice. It doesn't depend on how devout you are. It depends on how willing you are to grow, to stack new skills, and to scale the value you bring to the world. The clinic therapist could earn $5,000 a month and think about money far more obsessively than Dr. Berg, who earns millions. Because when you have enough money, it becomes a tool, not a goal. If this video gave you a new way of looking at money and faith, hit like and tell me in the comments, what is your mission right now? I genuinely want to know. And if you are not subscribed yet, do it, because this is the kind of conversation most people are too afraid to have.